Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 272, Glengarry, Glen Ross. My name is Fuck You.
And my name is Eric. Hello, fuck you.
Hi, Eric. No, my name is Joe.
Yes, and Joe, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Will you just give me the leads?
No, I can't do it, Shelley.
Oh boy, this is a movie.
I'm real excited to hear what you think of this.
Okay, alright. So as I mentioned last week when I picked it, at one point in time, I am pretty sure you told me this was your favorite movie.
Okay.
Is it?
It's entirely possible that I did tell you that at one point in time.
Okay. And how do you feel about it today?
I've grown a lot in the past 15 years.
Okay, alright.
So I would not say that it's my favorite movie now.
So it's a little different.
Definitely a little different.
Alright.
For a lot of reasons.
Sure, yeah. I can guess at least two of them.
Yeah.
When was the last time you watched it?
It's been
1 week?
A while, actually.
Okay.
No, it's probably been at least 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Since I've watched this movie. It's been a real long time. That's
kind of crazy. I mean, I say that as somebody who does not watch very many movies repetitively, so...
Right.
But still, if I felt that highly about a movie at one point, I probably would have watched it between, then and now.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I watched it a lot in college,
mm-hmm.
and I think I got maybe a little burnt out on it.
Sure.
So yeah, I just didn't go back to it.
Right.
Every now and then, I would look up the Alec Baldwin scene and watch that and be like, "All right, I'm good for another year or so."
That is a pretty amazing scene.
It's incredible.
So I had never seen this movie before tonight. Like I said, I had heard from you that you enjoyed this movie greatly, and I've generally enjoyed the French playwright David Mamet.
Yes, the 19th century French playwright who wrote a play about real estate salesmen.
But no, I've seen other David Mamet stuff, mostly just his movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ones that he directed himself, mostly, and I've enjoyed them for the most part. But this had always fallen into just a blind spot for me, and despite that, I still knew the Alec Baldwin scene pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic.
Yeah, it is. Filtered its way through just culture in general, which I think even before watching, I knew that it was created specifically for the movie.
Right.
And it is 5 minutes long, maybe.
Yeah, I think yeah. It's not super long, but it's basically just a long monologue that he does.
Yeah. And the only other thing that I think I really caught from before seeing this was that I want to say the character Gil on The Simpsons is supposed to be Shelley.
Yes, he's based on Jack Lemmon's performance in this movie.
All right. So that's all I knew going into this.
I mean, you really knew the highlights. In retrospect.
Like, I had no idea that Kevin Spacey was in this, nor Al Pacino or Ed Harris.
Oh, wow.
I just knew Jack Lemmon and the Alec Baldwin scene.
What if that's all it was? What if you watched a version of the movie that was just Jack Lemmon's scenes, the Jack Lemmon side of conversations, and the Alec Baldwin scene?
Might have been a better movie.
It'd be interesting, at least.
For sure, yeah. I honestly really... I mean, he's ostensibly the lead character of this movie.
Yeah.
But you know, there's definitely a lot of shared screen time with, you know, Ed Harris and Alan Arkin and Pacino. Kevin Spacey is sort of just there.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. But I just assumed that it was going to be mostly about Jack Lemmon's character. I think just, again, because that sort of seeped through into the culture. And again, I knew that, you know, it's a movie about Always Be Closing.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner gets a Cadillac, second place gets steak knives, and third place gets fired.
Right. And coffee is for closers.
Yes, exactly. And so I pretty much just assumed that that's kind of just what the entire movie was going to be, just sort of and it is, essentially, the struggles of these, you know, four men, you know, trying to save their jobs. But I had zero idea that there was going to be a crime element.
Yeah, it almost feels tacked on.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I like that. I like it's sort of this just mundane thing that just happens.
Yeah. And you know, it's probably because it was based on a play.
Mm-hmm.
But there's literally, I mean, there's other locations, but for the majority of the movie, there are two locations.
Yeah.
Just, you know, a big chunk of it is set in the office, and a smaller portion is set in the Chinese restaurant across the street.
Right.
And then, we do see some of the guys go out traveling a little bit, but it's not a huge part of the movie. So yeah, and like the movie starts with just credits with some really nice jazz music.
It's setting a tone.
Yeah. And you know, it opens to Jack Lemmon on the phone and like a neon lit phone booth, and like I kind of paused it and I was just like, I had no idea that this was going to be a noir.
I hadn't thought about that, but it really is.
Yeah. You know, because the entire like first third of the movie, maybe more, takes place entirely at night in the rain. Everybody is wearing trench coats. You know, everybody is lit by, you know, Venetian blinds. It's like, I don't know if I'm coining this phrase, but it's like workplace noir.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that.
And, you know, I kind of dug it.
Yeah, it looks neat, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, for a movie that it does boil down to just, you know, dudes trying to sell real estate, that's not a Dracula movie.
Wow, tying it back.
Yeah. It is visually arresting for, I think, a movie that maybe shouldn't have a place to be that visually exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people talking the whole time.
Right? But yeah, I thought this movie was good. I don't think I'd ever really be compelled to watch it again.
Sure. No, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a period in college where I decided I was going to be a playwright.
Okay.
Or a screenwriter or something like that.
Sure.
And I got really into the work of Aaron Sorkin and his predecessor David Mamet. So
two great guys.
Yeah, they're just stellar individuals all around. I chose my heroes well when I was in my early 20s.
It's fine, honestly. I mean, we talked about Aaron Sorkin a little bit in our Chicago 7 episode, but, I mean, he's clearly talented. David Mamet clearly has something going on with him.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, anyway. And psychologically, too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think David Mamet, for sure, is definitely honing in on a man's man kind of world.
Yes, definitely.
Like, there is a lot in this movie that is just about masculinity. Go ahead.
No, I was telling Jenny that I sort of lumped this movie in. There's a trilogy of movies that I was really into when I was younger that I'm not as into now. That I call the Toxic Masculinity Trilogy. And it's this movie, The Usual Suspects, and Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And
good picks. Good picks.
They're good movies, but yeah, they're hard to watch.
I think Reservoir Dogs can still hold up for me. But that just may be because it is a long instilled love for that movie that I have.
Sure.
Usual Suspects might not anymore just because of people involved.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in ages though. But I could see this as a worthy entry into that particular kind of trilogy.
Yeah, they're movies about dudes who are all like trying to prove that they're the best.
Right.
There are 0 women in them. I guess there's one female character in The Usual Suspects who is in maybe like 5 minutes of the movie. And she is there as motivation for Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah.
Otherwise no women at all.
I don't remember her. I did see a female name in the cast for this movie. I don't recall where there was a female in the movie.
Was she working at the Chinese restaurant?
Maybe.
Because I do believe there was a female, someone who worked at the Chinese restaurant.
Yes, the coat check girl.
Yes.
At the very beginning of the movie.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so there was
Shelley's secretary, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real bleak.
Yeah.
And then you've got the guy that Roma sells.
Right.
At the bar. Jonathan Pryce, yeah, as I forget the character's name, but yeah,
his last name is Link.
Last name is Link, that's right.
Yeah.
And Roma sells him, and then he comes in the next day, and well, my wife's got me on a real, she's not gonna let me do this. And then he's all apologetic, like, man, yeah, this movie does not have a high opinion of women at all.
Nope. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I think, I can't even say, for its time. I mean,
right.
It was
1992.
Right, yeah, and like even if we go back to the play, that was still mid 80s.
Yeah.
And it is definitely an actor's showcase.
Definitely, yeah. I don't think that there's a bad performance in this movie.
If there is, I will lean towards Al Pacino as being the weak one.
Yeah, it's getting towards that sort of Scent of a Woman era.
Yes,
yeah. Al Pacino. Like this is a stepping stone between 80s Al Pacino and that Al Pacino.
Yeah. But like Jack Lemmon, like I've always liked Jack Lemmon. He just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
He is absolutely wonderful in this movie and just also absolutely awful.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that he does when he's like the first sort of scene between him and Williamson over the leads, and like the whole thing is just like restrained rage the best that he can, and every now and then it creeps out, and then he like quashes it down, and his smile returns and his eyes light up again. That's so good. It's an amazing performance.
He is just I don't know. I didn't look to see if he won any awards for this or not, but he should have.
Yeah, I forgot I was gonna look too, and I didn't have a chance to.
But I definitely say that all the quality of this movie rests almost entirely on his shoulders, and that is not to say that everybody else isn't doing a great job either. Like Ed Harris is great. It's probably one of the best Ed Harris performances I've seen.
Yeah.
Just slimy fuck. Alan Arkin is doing wonderful work as just whatever it is he's doing in this movie.
Yeah, he's just like this really sort of timid sidekick character.
Yeah, he is. I would say he is like what Jack Lemmon is pretending to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Whereas Jack Lemmon is, hiding sort of that Ed Harris side of himself, which sort of comes to fruition at the end of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy. What was your most uncomfortable scene in this movie? Or most uncomfortable moment?
There were a few. For sure, the scene where Jack Lemmon goes to that guy's house and tries to sell him land.
Yeah, just like moves right in.
Yep. And that guy, trying to, politely talk him out of the house, but not having any success. So that was pretty cringy there. It could be, like strong runners up, like the racial sort of rage at Indian people. I believe the not suitable F word is thrown out at least once, if not more.
At least once. Oh, yeah. There's quite a bit of casual homophobia.
Yeah, yep. Which, again, like that stuff I can definitely, well, maybe not the racism part, but the homophobia, I was like, well, that was kind of that way in the 90s,
Yeah.
I mean, so I had my blog hacked a couple months ago, and I have slowly been just like I fixed it, but like been going through and just tweaking things here and there.
Sure.
And rereading over old posts from like 10 years ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not great. like I never fully, say anything super awful. but I definitely danced around it a few times, and it made me feel real bad. And I have since tried to delete some of that, or at least censor it.
Yeah.
My biggest thing, which is actually the one that I am most regrettable for, is my occasional slur against the developmentally disabled.
Yeah. Yeah, that use of that word has come a long way in just like the past 10 years. Like it's, it is now, it was like, even like Jenny and I, obviously, we've been watching old like Survivor and Big Brother and stuff.
Right.
And just the looseness with which people would use that word was startling.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have come a long way. There, we haven't in a lot of respects, but there are some ways in which we have.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whenever, I mean, like I said, just reading my own blog, my own words, I was just like, ooh, that's a shock, And if I am watching something and I hear, some of these words, I'm just like, oh gosh, not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's me becoming a better person or just me, I don't know.
I think that is you becoming a better person.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You and ideally society in general becoming better.
That's not happening at all.
I said ideally.
Ideally, okay, fair.
It's part of a larger cultural shift.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah. No, because society is still awful. Everything is terrible.
Okay, thank you.
Things in Texas have never been worse.
Florida's next. It's like Florida and Texas are just having a battle to see who can be the worst.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, and whoever wins, we lose. It's classic.
Classic AVP.
TVF.
I don't know that. TVF?
Texas versus Florida.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Jesus Christ.
We're, for the listener, we're recording later in the evening than we usually do.
Yeah.
I was delayed today, so yeah, that's, if there's a little bit of extra brain drain, that's what that's from.
Yeah, I've had a rough sleep week, so, it's just all adding up to whatever the hell is happening here. So the plot of the movie is these guys have to try to save their own jobs by selling shitty real estate to people who have no money.
Right.
Because they got bad leads, Joe.
Yeah, no, the leads are weak.
Yep. You're old, you're ancient.
Looking, leads are weak, you're weak. Watching this made me think of Facebook or Twitter or whatever selling your data.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people who are buying your data.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a different grift now because they're all just liars.
Oh yeah, yep.
Just trying to trick people into spending money on worthless land.
There is not a redeemable soul in this movie. They kind of want you to lean into Jack Lemmon being that guy. But he is absolutely not.
No, He is
a two-faced monster.
Yeah. But he has a sick daughter, maybe?
Yeah.
So you gotta like him.
No.
No.
Throughout sort of the first half or so, Ed Harris and Alan Arkin are sort of teamed up together. And Ed Harris floats out the idea of stealing the good leads, the Glengarry leads.
Yes.
And then selling them off to a rival real estate agent. I guess that's what they are.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it begins to sort of lead you that that's what's going to happen. But also, the movie totally doesn't hide the fact that Jack Lemmon did it.
Right. Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah. So then, when they all go to work the next morning, there has been a robbery. The police are there. They are interviewing people. The leads have been stolen. And they're trying to find out too. And then the rest of the movie all just takes place in the one room.
Yeah.
With Al Pacino just fully Al Pacinoing it up. When he came on, like he is in like the first minute or so of the movie, and they move away from him. He is not there at the Alec Baldwin meeting. And then they cut back to him and him talking to Jonathan Pryce. I pretty much just assumed that would be it for Al Pacino in the movie.
Oh,
like,
just that scene, yeah.
Yeah, like they got him for a day, one location, they shot it and that was that, and then we wouldn't see him again. But he does fill out the majority of the last half of the film.
Yeah.
And he's good. He is really good. But yeah, he is encroaching on that hoo-ha type of just screams at everything Al Pacino era.
Yeah, he has some in the scene where he's selling Jonathan Pryce. Like there is a line that I think about pretty regularly, and that line is, "You ever take a dump that made you feel like you slept for 12 hours?" Because that is an incredible line. Because I think we've all done that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We've all been there.
Yep, for sure.
This is a safe place to talk about our poops.
Absolutely. If not here, where?
Exactly. My therapist doesn't want to hear about it, so the podcast listener can hear about it.
Well, your therapist is wrong.
She's got other problems to deal with.
Maybe she should get therapy.
Maybe she just needs to take a dump that makes her feel like she slept for 12 hours.
And this is the clip I'm playing for our promo.
Fantastic. Really glad to hear that.
Sometimes I don't know in advance, but I do now.
All right, fine. I accept it.
His speech is entirely incredible during that scene. Actually, I was thinking about the thing that you remember the most about, having sex.
Oh yeah, that's really special too.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's not a ton to this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a really long time, but I did read the play when I was in college, and there's a lot in the movie that is not in the play, if I am remembering right.
All right.
Like it's a three act. The first act is in the office, the second act is in, I guess, the restaurant, and the third act is back in the office. And I want to say that in the play, Roma doesn't appear until the third act.
Okay.
So, like, all of that of him selling Jonathan Pryce, I'm pretty sure is all entirely new.
All right.
Yeah, if I remember right, like, the second act is really just Ed Harris and Alan Arkin's characters just talking and sort of scheming a little bit.
Right.
And then, yeah, I forget what exactly the first act is without the Alec Baldwin scene, like how they accomplish that.
Right.
I do remember that the play never mentions Glen Ross, which gets like one brief mention in the movie.
Does it?
It does.
Okay, because I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, they're talking about, like, it was another property that they sold at one point.
Right.
And it's just mentioned in passing.
Okay.
But it's sort of like a those were the days kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, because they do mention Glengarry quite a bit. It's a plot of land in Florida, I believe.
Yes.
And yeah, throughout the entire movie, I was like, where the hell does Glen Ross come in?
Glen Ross is actually the name of the detective investigating the robbery. Oh, watch out for Detective Ross.
I honestly thought, because in the title of the movie, Glengarry is one word, Glen Ross is two.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, so it's going to be a person, right?
Yeah, I don't know where Glen Ross originally came from.
Yeah, I was also going to ask you if you had ever seen the play or not, and then so you answered that.
Yeah, I've never seen the play, but I have read it. I would like to see it. I think it'd be interesting to see. I think the only Mamet play that I've seen a play of, not a movie, is American Buffalo, which I really enjoyed. Sort of a similar vibe to this, but just with coin collectors.
All right.
The American Buffalo is like a rare coin or something. I don't remember all the details.
I gathered that once you said it was about coin collectors.
Yeah.
Put it together in my head, and you know what? I don't need to see anything about nerds collecting shit.
I know there's a movie of that I think Dennis Franz is in, and I forget who else. That'll be my next pick.
Okay, hey, I like Dennis Franz. Hill Street Blues, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's just lots of scenes of these guys talking. Shelley comes in and he has had a great morning. Just a real reversal of fortune. He has sold 8 plots for $82,000. He is now in the lead to win that Cadillac.
Right.
And he sold it to a nice cyborg family.
Oh, yeah, that's why it was so easy. You just changed their programming.
So he's regaling Al Pacino with the story of how he made this great sale and turnaround, and now he's hot. He's on a streak. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna get all those Glengarry leads. But meanwhile, the cops are investigating the robbery, and Kevin Spacey kind of comes in and out. The small role in this movie.
Yeah, but sort of a nothing.
Kinda, yeah. Small but pivotal.
Yeah.
He is truly playing an asshole.
Yeah.
More so than anybody else in the movie. Maybe slightly less than Alec Baldwin.
Maybe.
But his asshole specialness is just basically fucking over everybody he works with.
Right.
And then there's the final confrontation between him and Jack Lemmon, which I thought was just great all around.
Yeah.
Jack Lemmon confessing that he, committed this crime, and Kevin Spacey just immediately turning around and telling the cops.
Yeah, fucking narc.
Yep.
He's got a sick kid. Just let him go. I will say the movie did have me a little full. Like, it can't obviously be Jack Lemmon that did this, right? Because it seems really obvious that he's the one that did this. Yeah.
But no, yeah, they just went with that. Which is fine.
It was sort of a twist that he did it with Moss.
Yeah.
It was like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because they have one scene together at the beginning, and then that's pretty much it between them. Yeah. Like the movie opens with both of them having a conversation in the bathroom. And Moss gets interviewed by the detectives first, and then just storms out because he's pissed.
Right.
And we never see him again.
Yeah, because he went across the street.
Oh yeah, that's right. To Jerry's.
To Jerry Graff.
Yep.
I remember when I read the play first, or when I saw the movie, either way, I thought that he was literally going across the street. Like, this guy just had offices across the street from them. Because I'm dumb.
Yeah, I buy into that. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah,
Arby's and McDonald's are across the street from each other in some places.
That's true. All right, you got me there.
So what I want to know is, why are they having company meetings at like 7:30 at night?
Yeah, they're talking about
going out on calls and driving around.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about going to sell people at their homes at like 10 at night.
Yeah.
No. I'm not buying anything from you if you come to my house at 10 o'clock at night.
I mean, I'm not doing it at any time, but definitely not. I'm not answering the door.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's a rough and tumble world.
I guess so.
So yeah, should we talk about Kevin Spacey?
I guess we can.
Do we have anything to say about Kevin Spacey?
I really don't have anything new to add to what I think everybody already probably knows.
Yeah, I will say, so like, I know when we watched Trumbo, and Louis C.K. showed up.
Yeah.
I had a real hard time separating that, and maybe because I didn't expect him to be there.
Right.
Whereas I knew that Kevin Spacey was in this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know, for like, maybe just knowing that he's there and being like, okay, he's awful, but I'm still gonna watch this. Maybe that was all it took for me. I'm not sure what it was.
I think part of it for me is that he is very young in this movie.
This
is definitely before his sort of, before he became a star that we know him as. And he is a great actor. Like that cannot be denied. And you are breaking up, sir.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my headphones were being weird. I just had to adjust. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes. But it's like, when we watched Hercules of all things, and James Woods is the voice of Hades.
Right.
It's like, oh god, this guy is just the worst person on earth. But you can't deny that it's a great performance.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with Kevin Spacey. Like, he is legitimately a great actor. His handling of his entire situation with his yearly threats that he releases.
Right. His bizarre video manifestos.
Yeah. That's not helping anything.
No.
I ideally want to believe that there is room for people to have redemption.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you put in work,
yes,
and are clearly remorseful, and obviously ultimately it's up to the wronged party to decide what is enough.
Right.
But yeah, no, I feel like, as a hopefully recovering terrible person, I feel like redemption is a good, important thing.
Yeah.
I do think there are some things that you can't be redeemed from.
No, yeah, there are definitely some lines you can cross, and like you said, it's up to the victim, I think, to also make that assumption. I may never be able to forgive, just, for the sake of this argument, Kevin Spacey.
Sure.
But if, the people that he wronged do, then good for them, and hopefully that helps them. And, Kevin Spacey takes it to heart. But all we've seen is that he clearly is not.
Yeah.
And the same with Louis C.K., in Trumbo. And I think a thing about that particular movie that affected us both is, completely unexpected. Also, he's not a great actor.
Right. No, he's not very good.
Yeah.
And I'm not, that shouldn't, impact...
No.
Well, he's a great actor, so we can overlook or we can forgive this thing more easily.
We shouldn't overlook, we shouldn't ignore, but I think it's easier with, especially his older movies, to realize that, he is so good that you do kind of get lost in his character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than just constantly thinking about, this guy is not good.
Yeah. Like, that's Kevin Spacey. He's a rapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think we're on the same page there.
All right.
Kevin Spacey bad.
Yeah. But I still own a copy of Seven.
Sure. Yeah. No, I own a copy of Seven. I own a copy of Superman Returns.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
So yeah.
I'm not gonna just flush out, my collection full of canceled people.
Yeah.
But. There are definitely lines that somebody could cross that I'd be like, I maybe shouldn't have this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I still own 4 seasons of News Radio, even though Joe Rogan is garbage.
He really is,
and Andy Dick too. But what are you gonna do?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Joe
Anyway.
Yeah. If anything, you can always, he was never the draw of News Radio.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, you can easily fast forward through his scenes.
Yeah. He was not funny then. Still not funny.
Is he even trying to be funny? I don't know what he does now other than is an asshole, apparently.
He still has, and I say this with quotes, comedy specials.
Oh, okay.
So I think part of him is still trying to be funny. But he never was.
Yeah, I know that he has COVID now.
Yes, he does.
And
congratulations.
The ivermectin. Yeah, well done, sir. Take your horse laxative and be happy. You stupid asshole.
Yep.
So yeah, Glengarry, Glen Ross.
It's for sure problematic.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. It's short. It is very tight and concise. The characters were all, like I said, none of them are redeemable, but they're all intriguing as hell.
Yeah.
And it is just mesmerizing to watch. And it's a collection of some of the greatest actors that have ever worked in movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, watching it again now, I remembered what I liked about it at the time, which is, the dialogue is casual racism and homophobia aside, the dialogue is really good.
Yes, it is, and it's all very natural.
Yes, very natural, and the performances are spectacular. For a movie about people selling real estate, it's a gripping story.
Yeah, it really is.
So yeah, like I said, I remembered what I liked about it before. I think I've outgrown it as a person, though. Sure.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see any reason for me to ever revisit this one. So I was talking to a friend last night and said that, my friend and I were going to do our podcast and, we're watching Glengarry, Glen Ross, and she had never heard of it. I said, oh, well, I still hadn't seen it, but I was like, it's a dude movie.
Yeah, very much so. It's a middle-aged dude movie.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, yeah, Kevin Spacey is probably the youngest person in this movie.
Yeah, and he's like
in his 30s.
He's in maybe even in his 40s by that point.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
He definitely looks the youngest for sure.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, maybe Alec Baldwin is fairly young.
That could be.
Yeah, because that was in super handsome Alec Baldwin days.
That was peak Alec Baldwin's powers.
It really was. That and The Shadow.
Yeah. That's another movie I haven't watched in a long time. Maybe I'll revisit that at some point.
Yeah. I own it on Blu-ray, and I know that there's a special edition Blu-ray out there, and I have waffled on whether I should be getting that or not for myself.
Who knows?
Yeah, but I make bad decisions.
Yeah, that's, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yep.
Because I do the same.
Yeah. Like, I was at a bookstore recently, and they had a copy of apparently just came out on special edition Blu-ray, David Lynch's Dune.
Ooh.
And it was like $50, and I looked at it, and I thought, maybe? But when it comes right down to it, I don't like that movie. It's pretty bad. Why do I want to buy a $50 copy of it?
Because you like David Lynch.
I do. I want to root for that guy.
Yeah. I get that. I totally get that.
It's $35 on Amazon, so that's probably the
right.
point of getting it.
Perfect. Keep me posted. I've never seen that movie.
We'll get it while the getting's good before, Denis Villeneuve, does it away.
Right.
But don't you dare watch that on your TV.
Did you say Denis Villeneuve?
Isn't that his name?
It's Denis Villeneuve.
Whatever.
I believe he is the French filmmaker. Not to be confused with David Mamet.
Well, he shouldn't have a Spanish fucking name then.
Oh, maybe he's Spanish. I don't know.
Who cares? He doesn't want you to watch it on your TV, so fuck him.
I know, because that's not real movies.
Nope. Well, as Patty Jenkins has confirmed today.
That's right. They look fake.
Yep. Apparently, she never watched Wonder Woman 1984.
Apparently not.
The cheapest looking movie I've seen in years. And I've seen some shit.
Oh boy. Is anything making you happy this week?
Nothing I can publicly talk about.
All right, fair. Fair enough.
I don't know. I went to Ollie's yesterday and they had a hardcover copy of Watchmen Noir. And I don't own a copy of Watchmen, so I figured, yeah, what the fuck.
That's awesome.
So, not a joy, but it's a slight bump up in cheer. I don't know.
Sure. No, I get that.
Yeah. What about you, sir?
This week, Jenny and I went to we stayed in a house on the Puget Sound on Whidbey Island, which is about an hour from here. We had to take a ferry to get there. And we stayed there for just a couple days, and we worked during the day and then went out and did stuff. And it was completely free.
Nice.
So yeah, this I guess a sponsor for the nonprofit where Jenny works had this house that they usually rent as like an Airbnb, and they had a last minute cancellation, and so they just offered it up to anybody at the nonprofit who wanted to take it. And Jenny has cancer, so played that card, and we got to stay in the house for free. And it was really nice.
I was gonna make that joke, but then I thought better of it.
No, I'll do it. I don't care.
I was like, that would be very insensitive of you, Eric. How dare you?
No, see, it's okay if I do it.
Okay.
So yeah, that was really nice this week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I also just picked up a graphic novel that I haven't read yet, but I picked it up. I've been looking forward to reading it. It's called 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank.
Oh, okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's Matthew Rosenberg and Tyler Boss.
Alrighty.
I read Tyler Boss's Dark Horse series, Dead Dog's Bite, which was really excellent. I loved that, so I'm excited to read another book that he drew.
Agree to disagree.
All right, fair enough.
But I hope it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I watched Money Plane last weekend. So, speaking of Boss, because, Dr. Fraser Boss was in it.
Right.
And it was great.
Excellent. Right.
I'm sorry that if I've ruined your next pick or not, but...
No, that's fine. It was on my list, but I'll take it off.
All right. Well, you should watch it on your own. It's on Hulu.
All right, I'll see if Jenny wants to do that tonight. We're skipping Big Brother tonight, Jenny. It's Money Plane.
Hey, all the Lawrence brothers are in it.
All of them? Wow.
Joey and Matthew and Andrew and I think a fourth one.
That's too many Lawrences. Whew. Martin? What if he was their brother? How weird would that be? Oh, should I pick a movie for next week?
You should.
Okay. So this movie, I think this continues our Oscar Isaac series.
Okay, all right.
This movie
is it Moon Knight?
It is not Moon Knight, no. That's not out yet.
It's also not a movie.
Also not a movie. Yeah, a lot of problems with that, Eric.
I'm just really excited.
I get it. No, this movie is on Amazon Prime.
Okie doke.
And it I don't really know anything about it other than it has Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain in it.
Okay.
And it is called A Most Violent Year.
Ooh, I have actually wanted to see this for quite a while.
Excellent. I think it's a crime movie if I'm remembering correctly.
I want to say you're correct.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, I am greatly looking forward to that, and we're sure that is not going to go away next week, right?
I mean, the month just started over, so we should be safe for at least another month.
Okay, all right.
But if there are any problems with that, and if we can't find it anywhere else, I will let you know.
Alrighty. Alrighty, sir. Well, that sounds fantastic.
Excellent. A Most Violent Year.
Yes, and we will do that next week on the podcast.
I'll talk to you then. Copies for closers.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.